art, but it's ours. Everything is ours now.
You're selling all of the art, Dad? Why?
We don't have room for it.
Do you want to sell?
Oh, come on. Cabrera just grounded into a double play.
Matt set this up?
I told him it was a family discussion.
I think it is. I don't think you should sell it all. I'm telling you.
Didn't expect you to get so upset about it.
I am upset about it.
Why do you care?
I don't know.
One thing I think film can do really well, better than any other medium, is capture the reality of conversations. In a book, no matter how you lay it out, one piece of dialogue always has to follow another. You can't simulate people talking over each other, which is what we all do a lot of the time. And you can't really capture the rhythm, speed, and tone that a conversation has. Even radio and theater miss some of the nuances that film is perfectly suited to reproduce.
Yes. Maureen only told us he was in the hospital this morning.
Via text.
They were staying up
we
here
drove
at
from
Maureen's
Rochester to
country house.
Pittsfield.
We wanted to talk to a doctor.
Get any information.
Of all the filmmakers working right now, I think Noa Baumbaca maybe has the best ear for dialogue as it really is. And an ear is what it takes, because there's a general disconnect between what we all sound like and what movie and TV characters sound like, especially the most articulate ones.
You asked me that moronic question, and then my world came apart, and she came here, and I landed in the tabloids, and I got death threats, and my job is constantly in jeopardy, and you ruined my life?
Again, just stay. Yes, that was me.
Of course, you don't have to aim at realistic speech. Screenwriters like Aaron Sorkin and Quentin Tarantino have done really great work by writing human dialogue as it could be, finding music and language the same way that Shakespeare did centuries ago. But Baumbach, on the other hand, seems to be committed to a different principle.
You know, I think I mentioned to you I left the company I was with, and me and a couple other people started our own firm. It was scary and a big change, but things have settled and we're doing really well.
Maureen is talking to a friend who works at the Times about getting someone to come up and review the show.
I think we're...
In recent years, I've essentially been ignored by the Times.
I think we're a great alternative to some of the bigger firms.
And I think this might put me back on the map.
This is our logo.
$55 for a steak.
I think a conversation like this speaks volumes. In one sense, just by looking at it, you can see that this is a total failure of communication between father and son. The two men are on parallel tracks. Matt is talking about his new business, and Harold is talking about his forthcoming art retrospective. But in another sense, what makes this exchange so heartbreaking and true to life, at least for me, is that they really are communicating with each other, just not explicitly. Matt brings up a major life change and expresses some of the hopes and fears he has about it, and his father immediately brings up his own major life event and some of the hopes and fears he has about that. Implicitly, Matt is asking for approval, he's asking for reassurance, and he's asking for consolation. Harold, on the other hand, is denying approval because he can't bear his son being more successful than he is, while asking for reassurance of his own hopes and consolation for his own fears. It's like the two men are firing a volley of missiles at each other. Some are hitting, some are missing, and some are crashing into each other in midair. I think Baumbach understands a key dynamic in conversations, especially conversations with family. When we speak to others, we're often speaking to ourselves, attempting to frame dialogue so that the person we're talking to will reflect back the things that we want to believe about us.
When I was younger, I was so invested in his grievances, his anger at the world. They were mine too. But now that I live 3,000 miles away and have my own kid, thriving business, I don't even get angry at him anymore. It's even just funny.
I'm sure a lot of people who just went home for Thanksgiving experience something like this. You feel that you've changed, that you have an updated, nuanced idea of yourself, and you're going to show that idea in one way or another to your family.
It doesn't matter how much money I make. You make me feel like a big piece of shit because you don't care about it. But you also actually do. You're privately obsessed with it. You know that I beat you. I beat you!
The thing we seem to forget is that as we're trying to get our family to affirm our sense of self, they're doing the same thing to us. And the result is often conflict or a conversation that just goes nowhere. Well, maybe not nowhere, just not where you intended.
Dad says you started your own company.
Yeah, a couple other guys and me decided to...
How does that work? You just tell your boss, like, I'm going to start
Well, I was one of the partners, so I didn't technically have a boss.
No, I understand. So you got a better offer?
No, there were no offers. That's what was so scary. We were creating our own opportunity.
Because you wanted something smaller.
Bigger.
This is my favorite scene in the movie. It's a 1 and 30 second long take of two half-brothers attempting to connect. By making it one take, you get all the elements of conversation that I spoke about before, including the body language, the projected self-confidence of Matt, and the nervous, insecure energy of Danny, always nodding his head like his father. They're doing this thing where they agree while also disagreeing. It's a specific kind of non-argument that tells you a lot about their personalities and their relationship.
Many of the firm's clients came with us.
Which was surprising.
No, we expected it. We can't legally ask clients to come with us.
But they don't have much choice.
It's totally their choice.
No, I know. Because you have their money.
Okay, there's so much going on here. On one level, Danny is trying to connect with Matt by literally trying to finish his sentences. He's also trying to challenge him and assert some dominance by acting like he knows what Matt's gonna say next. Talk about speaking to yourself. Danny is effectively trying to hijack Matt's sentences and make them his own. Now listen for this the next time you're in a conversation. People do this all the time.
Well, their money is with the firm, but their money is in investments
I
or
understand.
bank.
My buddy Ptolemy, who lives across the street, or lived across the street from
Dad told me about your Karen.
Ptolemy is like you. He
Sorry.
works in
Also
arbitrage.
Yeah, that's not what I do.
At this point, Matt and Danny are getting out of sync, which actually makes it appropriate that Danny brings up arbitrage, an investment term for when the same asset is worth different values in different places and you exploit that price difference for profit. Exploiting differences in value is a pretty good definition of what it's like to be in a dysfunctional family, or a dysfunctional conversation for that matter.
Ptolemy said that the system is rigged from the inside.
That's not entirely true.
Well, mostly.
So, this is an exciting time for me.
How's your boy?
Good. Victoria and I are having some problems.
I never met her. Karen and I separated.
I know. I just said I was sorry.
Did you? I'm sorry, too.
And there it is, a moment of connection. 1 minute and 13 seconds into the conversation. In the Майровиц family, moments of connection are few and far between, so when they happen, they land with a special poignancy. And though this family is perhaps more intense, more insecure than most, I hope, there's something that rings so true about this to me. When we talk, so often we fly around each other, working out our own shit, thinking about ourselves. We try to make our meaning clear, but we can't quite say what we want, how we want, when we want. That's because communication isn't easy. Sometimes movies make it seem like it is, but Ноа Баумбака isn't interested in that kind of dialogue. He uses the medium best suited for depicting conversations to show us the truth about them, that we miss the mark more often than we hit it, and that it's a beautiful, meaningful thing when we do.
Say it with confidence and look him in the eye.